Hey guys, welcome to another AKS Spotlight. We are in a beautiful location today at Mercia Marina at Merchants Jewellers with Karim. So Karim, thanks for inviting us in.
You're welcome, Andy. Thanks for letting us be a part of this.
It's a really cool place, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a great place to come. It's relaxing, it's chilled. Happy vibes all day long.
For sure, yeah. How long have you been here?
We've been here 7 years now. It's been a nice journey. We kind of stumbled across it in a way. We came for an opening for another store here. One of my family members was working for that store and said, were you still looking for a place? And I was like, yes. And they said, there's an empty unit here.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
And that was it's this style, right? So you didn't have a location prior?
No.
Yeah.
We had a business before when it was called the Westfield in Derby. We had a franchise, or part of a franchise called Ice Watch, which a lot of people will know me, my brother and my wife from. And we had that for about 2.5 years. And that was meant to kind of jumpstart us to opening a jewellers.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, if it did jumpstart us, we probably would have stayed in the city centre. But I'm glad we didn't, based on how city centres have kind of worked out now.
Sure. Yeah.
So we closed after about 2.5 years, and then I went and did something different. I went into the wholesale side instead. It was kind of when my daughter was born, the business that I was working for decided to make everyone that was employed into consultants. Times were getting a bit difficult, so we only worked on commission. So the commission that I would get from each sale probably wasn't enough to support a family. And with my wife being on maternity pay, you know as well as me, it's never enough in this day and age.
No.
We kind of were in that limbo period where, what are we going to do now? And that's when we came to visit here. And we turned to each other and looked, bearing in mind, like we were thinking, where's this money going to come from? This is it. This is what we're going to do. So almost from kind of dropping down from having great salaries, etc., to almost nothing, to then going, let's do it, and put our heart and soul into it, basically.
In terms of the element of risk and investment, it's a big jump, isn't it?
Absolutely. But at the same time, I started when I was 16 in the industry. I'd worked for the high streets and I worked for independent, and I've worked in wholesale. So I kind of had a good understanding all round, from all angles, of what it needed. But it's the belief. I think a lot of people, and I think a lot of business owners will say, is that if you ever have any element of a doubt, me and Tony always say this, if you or one of you has a 1% doubt that it's not going to work, you step away. Yeah, there's an element of risk, of course, but it's calculated risk that we all talk about. But we've always worked on that principle right throughout, from having the meeting with the owners of the marina, to getting the keys, to the layout, to bringing the cabinets in, everything. There was never an ill feeling say we shouldn't be doing this. It felt the right thing to do all along.
We were talking before camera, weren't we, about how you're trying to appeal to the different senses and make it kind of as welcoming and nice an environment as possible.
So at the moment, as a client walks in, they get a nice smell. So we have something called room perfume. We work with a supplier of ours that provides that. So we're trying to hit all 5 senses. So you've got the smell, you have music in store, so to keep a nice chilled vibe. So there's your 2 senses. You've obviously got sight and touch, because we do jewellery. So the only thing we're missing is the taste element. Now you can't really taste jewellery, as we joke about. The next thing is trying to think of an idea of how can we bring that element in. And then if you've got all 5 senses, you're creating a much more memorable experience when clients come into store. We've put our name above the door. So my surname is Merchant. All of my associates and my colleagues that work with us know that, and we don't drill it in them, but they see it from me and Tanita anyway. So it becomes second nature to them. So anytime anybody comes in, whether you're being served by me and Tanita or 4 of our other associates, because now we've got a bigger team, you'll always get that chilled, relaxed feeling. I mean, if you look at our tagline, we've got Merchants Jewellers, but our tagline is from our family to yours. And that's it, as true as we are to that. Because even when we're at the marina here, like, it's the simplest thing, it's a dog walking area, for example. We allow dogs into our store. I feel if I didn't, it wouldn't be true. I know it sounds silly, but it wouldn't be true to our meaning of our family to yours, because even dogs are part of your family. But that part of that business, of just making that change, has brought so many clients in, because people walk in with their dogs.
And so here, like, obviously sell men's jewellery, women's jewellery. You've got a design service as well, haven't you? So and that, presumably a lot of that would be engagement rings. But I guess not only that, but when you think of designing something bespoke, you often naturally think of the biggest ring anyone ever buys, which is that.
So one thing about us which is nice, whenever anybody thinks about bespoke element, they think, right, well that's tailored. That means it's going to cost more.
Yeah.
With us, not necessarily the case. We've created rings where people have seen, I've seen this ring.
Yeah.
It might be an online image or something like that, or they've seen an online price, and they've come into us, and actually we've done it for, and this isn't in terms of argument for cost and value, we've made it for the right amount that it should be, and coincidentally it's lower than what they see online, which is great. Say someone's choosing a ring, for example, we allow you to choose your stone and choose your design setting, and we can alter any design settings we physically have in store to make it your own. But even the stone element, we bring stones in for clients to view. Now my take on that is, if someone tells me to make something for them, I'm only going to do it myself and bring in so many said stones to pick the right one for them to make sure it's perfect. So I'm just letting the client in on that. It's not costing me any extra. They're just coming into an appointment and sitting down with me while I'm doing it anyway. So it's a nice little touch, that is. And then they feel, which is true, is that they're choosing every element of the ring. The other part is, a lot of our stones, we don't use people in the UK. A lot of people in the UK will, suppliers in the UK will go abroad, bring things back and sell to jewellers around here. We cut that out. We go directly abroad. We've got suppliers that can provide that. And it's a big thing, and it brings down again the argument between cost and value, but it makes things maybe a bit more affordable for a client that wants a special ring, but always thinks it's out of reach when it really isn't.
Is there like a minimum spend of that type of thing? Do you know what I mean, like where below a certain amount it's not really worth?
If you know what gemstones and diamonds, you can have poor quality and you can have high quality. So we can put it in a budget in terms of that from a client point of view. But if a client says to me, I want the best sapphire and I want this and I want that and I want it for £200, it's not going to happen.
No.
So we have to provide realistic prices with them. And we give them knowledge as well. So we don't like to upsell. And some people might watching this video might think, you're a business, you want to make as much money. But we actually trust on the value of repeat business. If we do buy right for one sale, then we know that client will come back and even maybe tell 5 or 6 or 10 of their friends, and that brings it back. So as long as we look after the client in that moment and provide them with correct knowledge, sincerity, it always goes well.
What does it take from when you sort of first call you and say, look, I want to propose to my girlfriend, want to get something bespoke made? Look, again, it can vary, but roughly how long?
If something a bit more bespoke, we normally quote 4 to 6 weeks. And that is the process, we would say, from coming in from your first appointment. Because generally it takes 4 weeks, but we allow 2 weeks of clients coming in, us create CAD work, so we do a CAD design where they can see it on screen or they can see an image of what they're going to have, and then moving that into creation. But at the same time, if someone's got a particular timeline they want to hit, say they say, oh, my anniversary is in 3 weeks, then we'll always try and make sure we do that. And that's a big thing. All we care about is that the client is always smiling, and before they leave, they're always happy and want to recommend us to other people.
When do people most often propose?
If you feel like proposals, we normally find it's still cliche. Christmas, New Year's, end of the year.
Valentine's Day busy for you as well?
No,
is it
not as much as it used to be. I think there's the same sentiment now. I think a lot of people think, well, I show it all throughout the year, and I've got other things, and I've got. But I do too, and I shouldn't be saying that in my position. I shouldn't be saying that. If I was talking high street, when I used to work in the high street, yes, it's very much drummed into high street because everything's branded very much in your face. Valentine's, and you can't get away from it. You walk in the shopping centre, every store's doing Valentine's, right? Same for Mother's Day, and that's great. So we do those promotions, but from our point of view, where we are, a lot of people make a relaxed purchase. It's almost like, let's take this scenario of you going on holiday. You're more relaxed, you spend a bit more money, don't you, when you're on holiday? You get that vibe here, with the water, the boats, people come in and they're happy, and if they're with their partner and someone likes it, we always get that comment of, oh, your birthday's coming in a couple of months. Let's just get it now. We get that vibe a lot.
Well, you think you get a bit of a combination of people coming in, spur of the moment, browsing, seeing what you got, and making the purchase from there. And obviously, in the time we've been filming, lady come in and looked at your website, knew exactly what she wanted. Must have been in here for like 2 minutes tops, right? And has walked out having bought the thing that she wanted. So you get both ways here. That some people come in and basically effectively
absolutely, but we've not done that by mistake. So I've always said, again, when me and Tanita made the business, if we're doing the website, we would say, if you see something on a website, it's physically in store. We're dispatch from here. So come and have a look at it. And that's the following that we get. So yeah, we get, again, other avenues from what we've created, whether it's social media, whether it's website, whether it's just walking past in the evenings, and the lights are on, because we have time. The littlest thing, we have timers in our windows, so the lights go off late at night, we have to worry about things. But people going to the restaurants.
People are going to be going to the Lotus and then wandering out, people always look in the window of jewellers, then they just sort of see what's there.
Exactly.
If you look at challenges along the way then, like you've grown every year, which is amazing. Go back to 2020. All of a sudden, everything shuts down, and you're what, a couple of years into the business at that point.
So we're doing so well at that point. We've generated a good following, repeat business. Some people have followed my career from where I started, and I'm still running into them now. The first thing that actually went through my mind was when we were starting the business and I was consulting. My daughter had just been born, so she was 4 weeks old when we kind of decided with going with this. Throughout her first year, I was pretty much there all the time. Second year changed because I was here a lot of the time. So in COVID, I was like, great, I get to spend more time with her. That was the first thing that went through my mind, which shouldn't have been. sorry, Amira, when you look at this when you're older, but I should have been thinking about survival. Yeah, you're right. What's going to happen next? But what do you do in that scenario? Because it's already been led. You can't do anything other than what you need to do. But me and Tanita then, at that point, we didn't have a website. We cracked on with it. So by May, we fully created our website. This is where we got smart. We didn't use a website developer.
Didn't you?
We did it ourselves.
Wow.
I had an inside knowledge of how to program a little bit, and get around the backs of it. But there's plenty of websites out there now, if anyone's watching that wants to start their business, that makes it quite easy to create your website and plug in and put things in and piece together. So when we first started, we had about 1,500 products to put on there. That's the time consuming thing of putting your products on the website physically, because there's no quick route for that. But creating the skeleton and then the base and building on that is quite easy to do. You know about this location. People weren't going into high street, people weren't going to shopping centres. But this place, people are going for walks. You've got social distancing in here, you can do that. So again, we had jewellery in our window, and people would walk past and go, I've seen that, and we had little cards saying you can buy online even though we're closed. And that helped, massively helped. We put little notices in the window where it would give people the idea of the services that we did. So even when we reopened, we were getting to that point of still building without being there. People like to stop and look in windows.
Oh, for sure.
So in COVID, what else are you going to do? You're going to just look at things, aren't you, when you're walking around? When it did open up, again, we were only letting so many people in the store. And this place did get busy because it was the summer again. Don't forget we reopened. So you're allowing, at the time we were allowing 6 people in at a time. You think about only 3 couples in at one time. So we ended up having queues outside our door. And the British way is, what's the queue about? Join queues.
Exactly.
So people were just joining in, even just to come in to have a browse and walk back out. That's fine. I would say we became our strongest at COVID. Because again, people weren't going to the high street, people were going to outdoor places. And those places got a lot stronger. So did we. And I think that's what we built upon from there. The place where we are, Mercia Marina, is one of the largest inland marinas in Europe.
Is it?
Yeah, still is. And John Thornton and his partners decided at that point that they were going to do the marina, that's what they wanted to do. And it still has that legacy. So if you go on a website and you search, it comes up with that. And it's you've seen, it's a fantastic place. You've got lodges here people can stay at. So it's not just people coming for the day, people stay in. We've got 600 spaces for narrowboats on the marina as well. They're not all filled, but there's a lot that are filled. So you've got a very big community here as well. So on our doorstep we've got a community. Never mind left and right of the regions that we've got of us as well. We're busy all the time. Even if you walk in on in a week, Monday to Friday, and you think it's a bit quiet, it really isn't, because we've got people messaging us on WhatsApp for ring designs, or we're creating ring designs, maybe doing jewelry repairs and watch repairs in the back. The guys are always creating more content for social media. So we're doing local wedding shows. That's great. That's bringing a lot more footfall through the store as well based on that. The team that we've got is helping. So before, if we did a show, we'd have to close the store and go to the show. Now, because of the team we have, this can remain open while we're at this show. I've got to give a shout out to our team, because without them we can't do it. Nadia's been with me 3.5 years. I call her the right hand to me and Tanita. She knows how we behave, she knows what we like, she knows what we need to do. And she's become a very integral part in this business. We've got Matthew now as well. Matthew's been with me near 2 years. He does a lot of our pre-loved and pre-owned. He's watch mad, which is nice to hear. So we've got a lot of that going on. And then we've got Ria, who's been with me 4 months, quite recent. She's taken over our social media, so she's very clued up on that. And we've also got Izzy, who's a new starter. And she's only just come in, but already, from comments that I've heard from customers walking in, she's doing fantastic. They always say, don't they, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. It's commonly said. But yeah, and at the same time, when me and Tanita are in, we met in work. So when we met at a jeweller's. So our relationship started in work. So working together isn't a bad thing for us, where a lot of couples will say, oh, I couldn't work with my partner. We know each other well in terms of how things work. Even when it came down to furniture, even colour scheme. If I was thinking it, Tanita would say it. And if Tanita was thinking it, I would say it. And she's a big part. Without Tanita, I probably wouldn't open this store. A lot of people say to us, I'm the dreamer, she's the realist. So she brings me back down to ground, which is great. I think every couple needs that. She never says, no, it's never going to happen. It's more like, right, let's step by step do it. And we'll get there. Two partners in a business, you need that. You need that balance. You can't both be dreamers. It's never going to work. So you need that side of it too.
Yin and yang, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Looking forward, then, what's the vision for the next 5-10 years in terms of where you want this?
Well, a lot of people say to us that we want to. Do you want to open another store? I don't think I do. I know some people think that the success of opening more stores is successful. I think it's a headache. I think I'll end up being HR, which is where I don't want to be. Whereas if I open more stores, then I'm looking after team members. So where we want to go is we would stay where we are. If there's potential to expand here, we would. We would like to expand our website a bit more. So I've just been actually creating a new element to the website where you can now design your ring on our website. That's cool. So everything I spoke about before, about choosing your stone, etc. We've now found our version that we like. And portraying it that way. Don't get me wrong, this is not a new thing. A lot of websites already do it, but we want to do it our way.
We started with the environment, so we'll probably finish with that. But the environment you create has a big part in that, right? It's, as you walk in, so much of it's kind of, it's how you feel, it's how you perceive things, it's the overall. It's not just a product you're buying; it's the overall experience. I guess that's what you're really selling. Yeah,
absolutely. And again, just go back to the family element. That's what me and Tanita have always envisioned. Parents come in. Sometimes with their kids, that you did, you came in to see us, didn't you, with your kids? So we always make sure that the whole family gets a nice experience. Right down to the kids, we say hello to the kids, make sure they're looked after. Because what we want to remember is, we want the children to think, Mum and Dad used to go to that jeweller's, that was our family jeweller's we used to go to. I want to go there. And it continues down the family that it's always used. We think about that a lot as well. So it's not just about the sale there and then. As we know, as long as we give a good experience in store, the sales will come anyway. And again, some people might be watching this thinking, that's not really the right way to do retail. It should be sales, you should get the money there and then and pursue. But I'm not in this for a short term, I'm in it for the long haul. I say to a lot of people, I think me and Tanita will be bored when we get to retirement thinking what we're going to do. I think we'll also be pottering around and hopefully our children can take over.
I was going to ask if that's the hope.
Well, planting the seed. I mean, Amira's creating bracelets for me at home already, and I've got to wear them. If I don't, I get told off. But I've always said, again, at the same time, the reason why this works is because me and Tanita enjoy it and love it. I would say the same thing to my children. Go into a career that you love and you enjoy. Don't go into just a job for the sake of it. Go into it because there's some interest or you love it. All I care about is their happiness. So as long as they're happy with what they do, and Tanita will say the same thing if she was sat here as well. As long as that is the situation with our children, that's all that matters.
Look, we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.
Thank you.
Thanks for welcoming us down there, mate.
No.
I would highly encourage anyone, if you haven't already been in, come down there. You can get pretty much everything, right? You can get watches repaired, rings cleaned. My wedding ring is sparkling. Looks like I'm newly married. So all sorts of different things. It's a great place to come to. Thanks so much.
Thank you.